So it's been a while since Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse came out, but we're finally getting Spider-Man Noir from that movie. But after all this time, is this one worth your money? Be sure you stick around until the end, soulmates, because we're going to talk about what characters we'd like to see from that movie next. If you support what I do, please click subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single video of mine when it comes out. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was easily the best Spider-Man movie ever made, but oddly enough, we didn't get that many Marvel Legends based off the movie. There were a handful of figures in the Stilt Man wave, and those were all pretty cool, I thought. My personal favorites out of that wave are probably Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Still, that's only 4 characters, and there's so much to work with from Into the Spider-Verse. We did also get a 2-pack of Miles Morales in a different costume and Gwen Stacy, but beyond that, there's really not much, which is kinda surprising because there's a bunch of villains from the movie that offer endless potential for Build-A-Figures. So to get a Spider-Man Noir now, after a whole year since the previous release, is a little out of left field, but you know what? It's still welcome. I want to talk more about Spider-Man Noir in a little bit, but first I want to talk about the Peter Parker and Ned Leeds 2-pack that was announced. Just like Spider-Man Noir, this one is also completely out of left field. I mean, Spider-Man Homecoming, that's about 5 years too late. Still, even though the timing of it is a little weird, this one is pretty nice. The sculpts on Peter and Ned both look really good, and the accessories are pretty cool too. They come with a decent number of them, including a Spider-Man mask that Ned can wear, and both of them come with backpacks because, of course, they're both still in high school. Peter comes with a notebook and a couple of closed-fisted hands, and he comes with a different head sculpt too. The resting Peter Parker face for this one looks pretty good. It looks like Tom Holland, but the smiling one looks off to me. Like, it kind of looks like Tom Holland, but this is another one of those heads that I look at and say to myself, this kind of looks more like his stunt double than it does him. If you squint your eyes just enough, you see a resemblance to Tom Holland. I don't think anyone's gonna be rushing to get this one's autograph though. Fortunately, both of Ned's head sculpts both look really good, although there's no lines on the Spider-Man mask, which is not great. I wish they would put the black lines on the Spider-Man webbing on his costume. It feels like they're cheaping out when they sculpt the lines on, but then they don't paint them black. It's one thing to do that with a character like the Shocker, whose costume is essentially a big quilt, but it's a different thing with Spider-Man's costume because very often the webbing on Spider-Man's costume is depicted as a relief element. The price of this one, much like all the other Spider-Man merchandise that's been revealed, is pretty steep. It's over 2 times standard price. Do you really need an MCU Peter Parker and Ned Leeds? It's up to you, but I really don't need them. I don't even like the MCU Spider-Man. That said, this one's alright, it's just overpriced like all the other Spider-Man merch we've seen so far. And that leads us right back to Spider-Man Noir, who is going for $29.99. $5 more than standard price. But is he worth the extra $5? Well, looking at him, he's got this cool zipatone effect that they've painted on him, so that's pretty nice to begin with, but when you look at the body, it's pretty decent. Besides all that, there's also all kinds of textural elements like the folds on his clothes, and the web design on his mask. Oddly enough, he doesn't seem to have the torso cut like a lot of modern Marvel Legends do. He appears to only have the ab crunch, which doesn't make him as appealing as some other action figures, and it makes the body look a little dated here. Besides the base action figure, he also comes with a head that doesn't have a hat on it, and he comes with a gun, and, well, he also comes with Spider-Ham. The first 2 accessories are pretty nice to have, but Spider-Ham is just the same Spider-Ham that we got with Gwen Stacy. It's literally the same toy. The only difference is that the colors are a little brighter. But really, who cares? The colors were already close enough. We don't need to see another Spider-Ham already, especially when it's just the same Spider-Ham we already got. The only appeal I can see for it is if someone didn't get Gwen Stacy and they don't have a Spider-Ham. But even then, this is a pretty underwhelming package for $30, because it isn't like there's an abundance of accessories here. There's a handful, and that's that. It's a fairly nice Spider-Man Noir, but it's a pretty light package, all things considered. He doesn't even come with any extra hands or anything like that. All he's got are two hands that both have trigger fingers on them. I would already have a hard enough time justifying him at $25. At $30, it's a big no from me. At that price point, it's time to go and see what Marvel Select has to offer, because once they start charging $30 plus, there's no point to Marvel Legends anymore. I can literally go on Diamond Select's website and find a litany of Marvel action figures on sale for the same price as Spider-Man Noir, and even the large action figures, the ones that would be designated as a deluxe action figure in the Marvel Legends line, they're the same price. And if you get two of them, it's just a few bucks off from costing the same as the Peter Parker Ned Leeds 2-pack. So really, what's the incentive here to buy Marvel Legends? Interestingly enough, Spider-Man Noir is a Target exclusive. Why Target? I have no idea, but that's the way it is, and it could be a lot worse for an exclusive. Target is probably the place I would want the action figure to go if I want to have an exclusive at all. If it goes to Walmart, odds are I'm probably not going to get it. It goes to Walgreens, odds are I'm probably not going to get it. But Target, every time there's been an exclusive there, and I've wanted it, I've been able to get it. That said, pre-orders do appear to be sold out at the moment, although they're probably going to get more of them because it is Spider-Man. Unfortunately, just like all the other 60th anniversary Spider-Man Marvel Legends reveals, these are going to come in cardboard boxes with no plastic windows. No great surprise there. It's a massive slap in the face to in-the-box collectors because now they have no choice but to open the figure if they want to ever look at it. Personally, I'm not an in-the-box collector, but I can definitely understand why in-the-box collectors might be a little upset about this turn of development. Well, now that we're seeing Spider-Man Noir, there's a few other Into the Spider-Verse characters I would love to see. One, I would love to see Olivia Octavius, because I found that version of the character utterly fascinating. It wasn't just her personality, it was the design of her tentacles too, which was really unique. But you know, I'll take any of the villains that we saw in that movie because they were all so cool. Well, Soulmates, what do you think of this Peter Parker and Ned Leeds 2-pack, as well as Spider-Man Noir? Are these ones that you have to have for your collection, or are you feeling kind of cool on these and maybe you're not that interested? Or maybe you're still trying to decide and the price is making you hem and haw over whether or not you want them. Also, what Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse characters do you want to see next? Be sure you let me know in the comments, guys. I would love to hear from you. I'll be back again soon with some more thoughts about new comic book toy news. And until then, with love from me to you, bye-bye.